Hey guys, today my job has been tasked with fitting the KS3 ride plate. First thing I've got to do to get the ride plate off is I've got to get the reverse bucket down to get the clip off the reverse rod. So we have to go into maintenance mode. To get into maintenance mode, you don't need a lanyard. You've got to get rid of the lanyard. Won't let you in. Key it up. This thing, probably the fuel buzzer is probably going to come on. Hold this down. Let's go back into settings again. We'll go back into maintenance again. Highlight it off is where we were. So we need to highlight it to on. So now it's highlighted on. We're good. I'll do a little initialization first. Hold the mode button down. And you can hear at the back end the trim and the reverse buckets, you know, rod's doing its thing. I need the bucket to come down now, so that I can get my hand in there to undo the clip for the trim button. This is how you do it. I press the down button for 5 seconds. I might get you to go down the back if you like, and you can see. So you can see the bucket. So I'm going to press the down button here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Off. The bucket will have come down. I normally trim up twice. So the up button, I hit 1, 2. What that does, gives me a little bit of wiggle room. There you go. That allows me to get my hand underneath here and undo the clip. Okay, so therefore can come off. I want to show you something about this a little bit later. But let's get this 24 ride plate off. I'm going to use power tools now to try and speed things up. Alright, so now what I do is I get a blade and I just run along the silicone on the side, on the edges here, and I take the silicone off. Just a little blade. Alright, a little bit easier with a blade. The other way is you can just pull the bucket down and sort of slowly leverage it down. Alright, so now that'll take that bucket off. Okay, so there's the bucket off. Alright, I'll put that down over here for the time being. Right, there is, I'll talk to you now because there's access. When you have it in this situation, there's an 8mm lock nut here, and behind the lock nut, I don't want any thread because we're going to adjust for this in the trim box itself. This one here, most of the 24s I've found from the factory already have the thread gone, but if you've got a one that does have thread showing, can you unlock the 8mm, spin that in so there's no thread, and then remember to lock the 8mm up when you've got it on. So there's the collar to put it on. So that's also special note, make sure when you put this on it actually comes all the way back. You don't want that to be jammed here and come off, so you've got to come all the way back. Okay, we are changing to the KS3 ride plate. Here she is. Put it on the ground here. This is the factory ride plate. The factory ride plate on the 24 has a spring on it. The 22 and 23 doesn't. We don't need it on ours, so we can just take the spring off, but we need this. So these have a little spacer in there. Make sure to keep those. Move this over to the KS3. Okay, need a little bit of Loctite on the bolts. Nice. Let's put it on. need that. You'll feel in the hole there. Oop. Do everything finger tight first. Said I check everything by hand. That's just a me thing. KS3 is done. Reverse bucket is on. We now bring this up. So here are the 8 bolts that we use to put the ride plate on. Just a little bit of blue Loctite. Okay. I'm going to, probably easier to show you now on the video, it doesn't matter you do it now or in a second, but I want this rod out because we've initialised it so it's pulled back in, whereas right at the very start of the video I brought the reverse bucket out here so that I could undo it, remember? So I'm just going to go up to the top of the dash and I'm going to hold the cruise down button for 5 seconds and then hit the up button for 2 seconds. So you can keep the video there. So this is the cruise button on the right hand side. I'm holding the bottom button down now 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to go up 1, up 2. That gives me my wiggle room. Okay, let's get these bolts on. Here's the KS3 ride plate. Get all the bolts in loosely. Alrighty. I put everything in hand tight so I can feel the threads and make sure that it's all going in and it's happy, because it's better off to fix, if you haven't got the bolt going in straight now, fix it now while it's only hand tight. Drive that thing home with the Alright, so now I can bring this up. I bring the 2 center ones up. There is something that I will tell you that I do, and I did miss on the video for you. I do actually use the blade when the plate is off. I do actually scrape the rest of the silicone off, because I am going to put new silicone on this plate. So I just run the blade around when the plate was off. We just had an interruption in the video with someone coming in the shop, which is why when I took it off then. But I just take the silicone off the edge of the hole to give the plate enough so it goes up straight. That one's already done. Then I do it by hand, as I say to you. Now before I silicone this ride plate on, I'm going to do the initialising a few times more, and I'm going to measure so that I don't have to break the silicone again. Here is the trim bucket collar. I hold that back, I put it on the ball, and I make sure that it is all the way back flush. Okay, so I'm good with that. Alright guys, so I've now got the ride plate up, I've Loctited the bolts in, all 8. I've got the collar on the reverse bucket on, so we're good at the back here. The next thing I want to do is I want to go up to the top to the dash, and I want to do the initialisation again so that everything sets itself up nice and square. But this job essentially is done other than the silicone, so let me go and initialise it now. Okay, I'm come up the top. You know how this works, I'm in maintenance mode already, so I just hit the mode button until the initialisation comes on. There it is. Let it do its thing. You can do it once, you can do it twice. I don't care, I'll do it twice while you can watch it on the video. Okay, now I get down here. It's time to silicone. So look, I use a marine silicone. It doesn't matter, it's just silicone. There's a gap at the front of the plate. Essentially, I want it filled up. This one is the brand Sika Marine. It's what I had in the fridge, so I'm not... I just run a bead around it so that it's happy. Oh. It's reasonably tight on the sides, so you can just as per what you need. There's no... Oh, hit the trolley. Hit the trolley again. All right, let's just use my finger. All right. Don't worry about the mess, we'll be tightening it up in a second. It's only silicone. Alright, get myself a rag for my fingers and make it pretty. Look at that, all done. Go and take it out of maintenance mode. You got yourself a jet ski. Let's take it out of maintenance mode. Remember, we were highlighted with on. So we jog wheel down to off, press off. We're done. Just back all the way to the screen that you know. I now often start it. So you need the lanyard back in. Keys on. Press the start button. Just make sure neutral, forward, neutral, reverse. Alright, put it into forward, and then I check the trim going up. There you go, the trim goes up, trim goes to the middle, trim goes down. Right, everything's working. Thanks for watching.